Hi, Sarah Banas here, Learn to Craft. I'm going to show you today how to make your own logo on Cricut Design Space. This is really incredibly easy, and it's a good way to save yourself some money, but also be able to better personalize your logo to what your vision is. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we move forward, if this video is of interest to you, like the video, but also subscribe to my channel. I'm coming out with new videos probably once or twice a week. Just lots of neat ways that you can craft better, but also learning how to design for yourself so that you can also produce your own designs. So, and I'm coming out with a really great design tutorial series over the next couple of weeks. So you don't want to miss that. So make sure you do subscribe. You'll get notified when new videos come out. The other thing, real quick, is that join us on Facebook. We have a massive collaborative of craft groups, probably about 2 million members now. I'm going to link Cricut for Beginners. It's about 550,000 members, super friendly, super knowledgeable, just a great group. You'll fit right in. So join us there. I'll link that in the video description. When you're looking at the video underneath, there's a little drop down. Click on that. That'll expand. I'll link the group in there. I will link all of the fonts that I use here, as well as any design elements that I've used. I'm going to link actually both design bundles and font bundles, which is where I get almost all of my elements and fonts. They all include a commercial use license, so you can use them on your logo. You do have to be aware of the fact licensing is really important when you're dealing with logos. So make sure you do read the license. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. These are all incredibly easy. I made some real basic designs just to show you different techniques that you can use in building your own logo. Um, Another thing to be aware of is that when you're working in Cricut Design Space, you cannot export your designs. So you wouldn't be able to save your design and then upload it to a service to have like business cards printed or anything like that. You could always snip it out and do that, but that's going to give you really bad quality. So really what you're working with here, and we can down the line, we can work on how to build your logo in programs like Inkscape and things like that, where you can upload to services to have business cards, whatever, printed. But this is really good for if you want to make your own stickers, or, say you own a bakery and you want to make little stickers for your cupcake tins, or, if you want to make shirts for yourself for shows that you're doing, or mailers or anything like that, that you can do all of that with Cricut. So, let's go ahead and get started. So I made some different designs, some different logos here, just to show you different skill sets. You can then take those skill sets and implement them in your own logo building and, make it your own. So the first one I want to show you, I want to show you something real basic first. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Get rid of that. Give ourselves some space. This is incredibly basic, but it gets what you want to get across, okay? What you want is somebody to look at your logo and remember your name. Okay, so you don't need it to be, super fancy and over the top. You just don't need that. So I mean, think of logos like the well stores that you automatically think their name, and Target, for instance. First thing you think is that bullseye, right? And again, so they didn't overdo it. It's just something that you associate with their name, and you think of them anytime you see it. And that's a really great logo. So, but another important thing here is you see this font. This font is really nice, right? It's not fancy, but it's nice. And that's also really important with logos, is that you have things that, you're not just using run of the mill, everybody uses some fonts. You want something special that makes it yours, okay? So let's take this and reduce the size of that and move that off to the side. Give ourselves some room. This one is another one that there's nothing incredibly fancy about it, but that flower, because you have that one centralized item, it makes it memorable, right? So, and then there's that association. So branding is really important with logos. That's a part of your branding. But having things that are memorable that people see and they automatically associate that with you. That's important. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at this one. This is incredibly easy to build, okay? So we will start from the beginning, and I want to show you the skill set of taking, and you see how there's like that line of demarcation, there's like an area between the two. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And the nice thing about a logo like this is that you don't even need to be able to, so if you do something like this, the sweet treats, you need a printer for that, right? So something like this, you can just cut on vinyl, which is nice. And you have just monotone, single color designs like that for your logo. So and also just real quick before we go any further, let me explain to you that something like this is all just layers. So that's incredibly easy. We'll get to that in a minute, but let's make this one here so that you can see this skill set. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is let me unflatten all of this so I don't have to re-upload you don't have to re-upload this camera. So we'll take this camera, and then all I did was type out these two separate words. Okay, so we typed out memories and we typed out cherished. Now with cherished, you can see that this H has a glyph on it, right? You can see that that's a fancy H, and this D also. So let me just show you real quick what happens when I just type this out. This font is Sweet Boho. I recently got this and just absolutely love it. Okay, so now when I type out cherish, you'll see in a second, that it doesn't look like it looks here, right? That's because this H and this D are both glyphs, okay? If you're not familiar with how to use font glyphs, I'm going to link in the video description a link for each of the different, for PC, Mac, and iOS, for how to use font glyphs. It's really easy, and it's a really important part of learning to design for yourself. So I'll link in the video description tutorials for each of those. Super easy. So let's go ahead and we'll switch this H out, and I'll show you how I got that line of demarcation. So choose my font here. And this is when you learn how to do how to work with glyphs in on a PC. I'm on a PC for this video, and this is how, and it'll show it all in the video I'll link. So we're going to switch out the H. And then we'll switch out this D. This part is super, once we just get these couple of glyphs copied in, getting that line demarcation is really easy. Which one did I use here? Okay, and then, so now let me just show you how I did this. Okay. So let's move this. We can get rid of that actually. And I'll take this, and see how it doesn't give it like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to, with it selected, click offset. And I didn't do very much on that. I think I just did like maybe 0.03, I think I did. Apply. Take a second, and then click apply again. Okay, and then you're going to want to change that to white. Okay, and now what you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to, I'm not sure why I didn't put a duplicate up there. So you're going to want to get this out of the way. Okay, and then you're going to want to select these two and slice. Okay, and now I can get rid of this. I can move this out of the way, get rid of this. And that is how you get that line of demarcation. I don't know if that's actually the correct terminology for that, but that's what I call it. A little bit of a balancing act to get that correct. Okay, so that's how you do that. Okay, and then I should have left that, because if you remember in the original, oh, you know what? No, I didn't keep it. Let me redo another offset here, 0.03 again, and then I will show you, because I think I did with this also. So that was probably right about right there. And then you would just slice that also. Same thing to get that line. So we'll get rid of that. Get rid of that. Not get rid of that. Get rid of that. And now so that's how you do that. Okay. So you go ahead and weld that all together. And then you could just cut that and put that on a shirt, or anything you wanted to put it on. You could put it on your stationery for your mailers that you send out, or emails, whatever. So that's how you do that. Okay. So now let's look at this. This is really neat. Okay. So there's a ton of different ways that you can do this. You can buy a completed cupcake watercolor clip art and then just layer your text on top of it. Like I was saying earlier, that's all this is. This is all just layers. So let's go ahead and unflatten it. This is also a really, really pretty font. This is Breakfast Pastry by Missy Meyer. Missy Myers is like one of my favorite all-time font designers. This is really pretty too. That's Whole Story. Whole Story has really nice end extenders on it, and the glyphs. So this, okay. So these are all different layers here. You can, like I said, you can buy clip art where it's all separate flowers, which is really nice for building, how you want your bouquet to look. I went ahead and I just purchased a couple of bouquets, a set that had a bunch of bouquets in it for this. So that's one layer, but this is the neat part that I want to show you. So you can purchase a cupcake that is just a completed cupcake, and that's it. That's just the way it is, and then you just put your text on top of it, and that's your logo, right? But this is actually a builder set for cupcakes that I just found, and I don't know, it's just really neat. So let me just show you some of the other parts that it's actually like a huge set. So these are some of the other parts that were in the builder set. So let's go ahead and deconstruct this first so that you can see. So that's a part, that's a part, that's a part, and that's a part. How neat is that, right? And the set has like cakes in it. It's got all these different pastries. It's neat. So this is actually another flower from that from the bouquet set. And this is something I'll show you in a second. So when you're dealing with logos and layering them, like I said, you can get things like this. This is like a watercolor splat, or there's a couple of different terminologies for it, but it's just like a splash of watercolor. And you can do something like this, and then you can layer if you want to add color onto your logo, you can layer your logo right on top of that. And another thing you can do that's really neat with layering like that is you can also purchase like splashes of like metallics, like golds and glitter and stuff like that. And then so say you take this and then you layer on top of that like gold splashes, and then put your logo on top of that. And then you just select it all and flatten, and then it makes it a single layer. And that's really pretty too. So this was actually included in the cupcake set. So this cupcake set is such a neat thing. I love it. So you can like make your cupcake a different color, right? So, and then I had a bunch of different types of like, berries and, things like that that you would put on top. So little chocolate swirls. So that's it. So that's all there is to that, right? So um, I don't know if you saw what I just did. So when this was behind, and this is important when you're logo building because you're dealing with layers. So see how, oops, send it back. Okay, so see how that's behind? And of course you want that layer in front. So right click and then send to front. Okay, and that's how you do that. Or you can also, with it selected, go to arrange, and that'll also give you the different options. Okay, and that's how you move your layers around so that your layers are where you want to be. See, again, so that's behind. And then you would want to right click, send to front, and then you're still going to want those blueberries in front of that. So then send that to front. And then that would put that right behind there like that. Okay, and then again with this, you would just send to front. No, that's not what I want to do. Send that to back, and then send this to front. Send to front, and then send that to front. And that's going to put them all in order. And that's it. So that is all there is to building this kind of layers, right? So then, and that's all I did is then I took this and want that to send it back. So that's all I did to build that cupcake, right? And like I said, so you saw how the cupcake is a builder set. There's tons of flower bouquet building sets, just super pretty ones too. I'm gonna link in the video description a ton of them. They're fun to work with any logo. I mean, you could always take this camera and then take one of these and then like that, send a front, and not necessarily that one, but because that doesn't fit on there very well. But different flowers and put flowers on there and incorporate that into your logo, right? So now let's take a look real quick at this because this is a skill set. If you don't know how to do it, how to curve your text like that, it's a good skill set to know. So let's move this down here and get rid of that. So this, how I made this. Now, first off, let me just tell you that the maker, this right here, this is a font called Mastering. It's free right now. As of the time that I am making this video right now, this font is free. It's only free for a couple more days. Highly, highly recommend going and grabbing this font while it's free. This is a fantastic logo font. It's good for so many things, but you do not want to miss it. That is a beautiful script, and it's free right now. I'm going to link that in the video description. If you see this video on time, make sure you grab it. It's super pretty. So let's go ahead and to curve text, what I like to do, when I'm doing it like this, when I want to do an actual circle, I like to make a circle. And then I have an awful lot going on here. So let's try to clear up a little space. All right, so I like to send that to the back, and then I like to make it a lighter color so that it's not getting in the way of my work. So I'm going to type out Art and Studio as two separate, use Lyman, and okay. Actually, let me duplicate that first. Okay, and so I'm going to type out art, and I'm going to type out yeah. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is with it selected, I'm going to go right here to curve, and then this one I'm going to curve forward. should start to curve just a little bit and kind of just eyeball it against your, see, that's almost correct. Okay, and I would say that that is just about correct, okay? And then for studio, with it selected, you go the opposite way because you're going on the bottom, okay? And that is just about correct, I think. Right, so that's correct. So now select all, align, center, and now you can, well, you know, I'm not going to get rid of that yet. So let me show you real quick something that's really nice for when you're building your own logo or designs in general. Something that's really nice is fonts that have extras. Okay, so one of my favorites is Amisteri Extras. I'm going to link this in the video description as well. If you follow me, you will see me use Amisteri Extras all the time. So let's go ahead, let's go into Amisteri Extras, and that's where this is actually kind of funny. So this right here I use in literally like 80% of my designs. It's a little bit strange, but it's like I just fell in love with it. I use it all the time. So and that's an Amisteri Extras. So we're going to take that and then we're going to put that right here. And then turn that like that. A little bit more. And then you're going to duplicate that upper right. And then with it selected, you're going to go to flip and flip horizontally. Okay. And then take it over here. And now, so you can't select this without selecting it, like you would end up with a circle on the main part. But what you can do is press Control over here on the right hand side on your layers panel. And with, you have the first one already selected. And now left click. And now you have both of those two selected without selecting everything else. Okay, now you can align, center vertically, and now weld those together so that that piece is one layer. Those two are one layer. That'll make it easier with your alignment. And all I did here to build these is I just took and let me just show you. I just took circles. Oops, what did I do? Unflatten. So I just took and built circles and then duplicated them. So that's all I did to get these 3 circles here. So let's see if I can select those 3 without selecting everything. Let's get rid of this. This. Get rid of this. I don't want to go through rebuilding the circles and getting them correct again. I don't know if you saw this either. So this is your distribution. So that, see how that distributed it more evenly? A bit bigger. The distribution doesn't always work exactly how you want it to, so sometimes you do have to change it up just a little bit. And we don't have to get this perfect. That's, I mean, good enough is good enough for now, obviously. When you're doing your actual logo, you do want it to be, you know, good, perfect. So this I'm actually going to expand a little bit because it's not quite how I want it. I want it to be a little bit rounder, like that. Okay, So now I have everything. Now I can get rid of this middle circle. Select it over here. It's giving me a hard time selecting just that. So select it here and I'll delete that. And now I will select all of this and I will align, center horizontally, and I will weld it all together. Okay. And then I don't remember what I named that now in the original. So Creator Art Studio it is. And then this also is a glyph in Amsterdam Extras, the one that I just told you that I use all the time. I use it all the time. Move that to the back so I can, if you're ever trying to grab something and you can't grab it, if you move the whatever layer keeps getting grabbed to the back, then it'll let you grab the front one. So that's that, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to align, center, and then I'm going to weld this all together to make it one layer. And then just real quick, I'm going to show you again with this, send it back, and how you can add. And obviously there's, there's a million different kinds of watercolor splashes like this, different colors and different patterns. And, but that's how you can add a little bit of color onto that, or even like, take something like this. But I mean, really, it could be anything. That's all, when you're adding color in, that's really all you're doing is just adding layers into your design. So let me just show you quick. Anybody who does not know this already, how to make a sticker out of something, in case you did want to take your logo and make it into a sticker. Anybody who's still with me, I know the video is kind of long, but let me just show you real quick how to do that. So you would take this, flatten, and now it's all one layer. See up here how it's all one layer now. And then what you would do is you would, with it selected, you would offset, right? And then you want to offset, not by a ton, but enough so that you're not ending up with too much open space. Just give it a second. It's a lot of information that's trying to read at once. And what that offset is going to do, so I'll make it a little bit bigger than that. It's going to be a little bit difficult with this just because there is some open space in between. So we can contour that out, but you need to make sure all of your outer edges have to be touching, or it won't work for a sticker. You would end up with inside cuts. So just give it 1 second. We're getting there. Let's just go ahead and apply and see if that's enough. And of course, when I try to show you something additional, it ends up being a little bit too much information at once. And also, we are right now, it's like 7:30 in the morning. So like all of the crafters are getting on. It's 7:30 on a Sunday morning. So all of the crafters are starting to hop on to Design Space. So it'll start to slow down just a little bit just because there's so many people on at once. So that's okay. I'll try one more time real quick, but if I can't get it, then that's okay. That was just something extra I was trying to show you. Apply. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to let me. It's a lot of information. You know what? Here, let me try something just out of curiosity. Let me try something a little bit different because I don't really need to offset. I bet you what's causing the problem is that I'm trying to offset this, and that's too much information for it to read. So let me try to just offset this. I bet you I can do that. That's all I really need the offset on. So let's try. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get that, but that's okay. So all you would do in that case is you would offset it and then you would flatten it and then you would print it as a sticker. So that was unfortunately too much information with all of the logos and all of the designs I have on the screen, but that's okay. So if you have any questions at all, ask them in the video description, or ask them in the questions underneath the video on YouTube. Or better yet, join me in the group, and you're always welcome to approach me and ask me directly. I'm always happy to help, and I'm always in the groups. So I'm going to link everything in the video description. I'll link the group. Join us there. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. And I'm also going to link all of the fonts that I used here and all of the elements that I used. So that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Have a good day. Bye.